What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby, and if you haven't been following along on my channel, I just got back from a 16-day trip to Europe. It's my first time going to Europe. I still haven't quite processed it. I've dreamt of going to London and Paris for like my entire life, and it still doesn't feel real. I don't know, but I thought it would be super fun to come home and kind of recap like a little diary of everything we did every day. I kept notes while I was away every day, like every night in bed I just like kind of recapped the day in my notes. So I'm just gonna kind of like go through it, and I'll insert obviously as many clips as I possibly can of the things that I did. It was really hard to vlog. I was with family like 99% of the time, so vlogging is just like weird, so I just like took clips of everything that we did, and then I figured I'll just like explain everything that we did. Oh, one more thing that I should say is that I have broken this video up into 2 parts. So you're getting the first part right now, and you get part 2 next week, just because it was such a big trip and we did so many things that like this video would be like an hour long. So yeah, so anyways, let's get into it. All right, so first day started Friday. We had a flight out of Pearson, Toronto, Pearson International Airport, whatever, at like, I think it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. We got to the airport around like 5, had some dinner, we took off, everything was fine. I am a fairly nervous flyer. I'm a fairly nervous person. So I haven't done anything for 2 years, so I was kind of like a little anxious, but we took off, it was fine. The flight attendants came out with the carts and everything. I was like, okay, I can relax. And then we had turbulence and they had to sit down, and I was like, So for some reason that turbulence decided to spark a like 3-hour like panic attack for me. So I sat on the plane, I like tried to have Gravol, and but I just sat in my seat for the next like 3.5 hours, just like having a little internal panic attack, and all I could do was just like try to breathe and just hope for the best. I don't know. Finally, I don't know what happened, but I was able to like pass out and fall asleep for like 15 minutes, and it kind of like knocked me out of the panic attack phase, and I was fine for the second half of the flight, thank God, because that would have been awful. But it did kind of ruin things a little bit for me, like whenever I would think about us going home and how I had to have a flight to get home, it created a little bit of issues for me, but everything's fine. Everything's fine. So the first day we arrived is Saturday. We got picked up by our family. We stayed with some cousins. So these would have been Chris's mother's cousins. They were so great. They were so nice and welcoming and gave us a room and all that. It was awesome. So the first day we just had like a chill family day. We were all so tired from having a red eye and not really sleeping. So that was nice, but to just like relax. Sunday was our first real day. We went into Camden Market. I don't have a ton of footage at Camden Market because it was my first day and we were just kind of wandering around. But Camden Market's a very like, felt like very edgy, like punk kind of energy, which is really, really cool. I noticed in London a lot of people take a lot more fashion chances, which is really, really cool. I feel like we don't see a lot of that at home, and if you do, you stick out. I think maybe a lot of people don't do that, whereas I feel like it was a lot more common to put together more like risky pieces and things like that, which was like really nice to see. So there was lots of shopping, lots of food stalls. I did actually get a phone case there, which is like, it's not like me, but Chris pointed it out and I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I feel like I have to do it. So I got this phone case, and I don't know if you could tell, but it's actual pressed fruit. So like that's real fruit that was sliced, and then they put like the resin and stuff over there. Like dragon fruit, like it's all like real, which I think is super cute. And everyone makes fun of me because I keep saying you can feel the orange seed in there. Honestly, that was the only thing I bought for myself the entire trip. On this day, we decided to go to a fish and chips place for lunch. I went to a place called Poppy's. It's like fairly popular. There's a lineup. I got the cod, Chris got the haddock, and we split it to see like which one we like better. We both decided the cod. I don't know why. It was just like better texture and flavor. And this is my first time having like English chips. And like I quite liked them, and I liked that a lot of the pieces were really thin, so it felt like you were eating like potato chips, which was like nice. After that, we headed back to the family's house, and we went and met some more family at a pub, which was really cool. They were so nice. There were so many different family members, and it was really cool to hear like all of their stories of how they're all connected to each other. And then afterwards, so nobody wanted to eat dinner. This is a very common thing throughout the whole trip, and you will see that. But Chris and I were like, okay, well, you're not eating, we're eating. So we downloaded the Deliveroo app, and a lot of the things that we were able to get on there were like fast food. So that's what we ended up having. We ended up trying Taco Bell, and it is not good there. It is not even close to North American Taco Bell, so don't try it. They don't have fire sauce. The meat tastes completely different. So many things taste completely different. I just don't recommend it. Another interesting thing I learned is that they call Sprite lemonade, which is, it was funny and also very confusing. And I didn't have a good Sprite the entire time we were there. I also learned very quickly that everything tastes different. So like a Coke doesn't taste like a Coke. A Diet Coke doesn't taste like a Diet Coke. Same with Sprite. Everything tasted different, and it was really weird to like have the same branding and packaging and then you get something that you weren't expecting. And another thing is they mainly offer sugar-free beverages. It was really hard to find a regular Coke. So if you walk into a store, it was sugar-free flavored Red Bulls. It was sugar-free energy drinks, sugar-free Coke, sugar-free Sprite. Everything was sugar-free, which is very interesting. I completely skipped over this, but the next day we actually went into Notting Hill. This was such a cute area. I felt like I was straight in a movie. It just felt like it was just gorgeous. Like everything was white, everything was beautiful. All of the trees and plants were so green, so colorful. Seriously, like straight out of a movie. On the way, on our walk, I actually sent a little postcard to my little brother. It's just like a fun little tradition we've been doing. I try to send them wherever we go, so I did one in Paris as well. And I'm so happy because he actually got these postcards while we were still away, so it's even cuter. Next, we saw Kensington Palace, which we were very underwhelmed by. It just kind of looked like an information center. And then this night was really, really cool. We went to a live taping of a British comedy show. I think it was called like Question Team, where they have like these 4 comedians go up and they basically run like their own rounds of like quizzes, which was like really interesting. It was just laughs the entire time. It was really funny. However, I will say it was like 4.5 hours of just sitting there and being told when to clap. But I mean, it was still such a cool experience and it was funny. It was just like a really cool thing to do, and I've never been on like a TV set before. This was like a dream come true for me. And the next day, it was a little bit of a lighter day. We went into Piccadilly Circus with the whole family, which was really cool. We just wandered around a little bit. We went to afternoon tea at the Wolseley, which is really nice. I did a bunch of research on where to go, and there's so many places to go in London, but this is a very good middle ground of like, some places are much like cheaper, I guess, and they offer less like food and stuff like that, and some places are way more expensive and their things are like incredibly high quality and there's way more of it. This is a perfect middle point for us, where it was like affordable and we got a good amount of food, and like I was full after and so was Chris. I didn't love the sandwiches. They give us like a variety of 5 little finger sandwiches and I didn't like those. The little desserts and the scones were so good. I've never had like an English scone before with clotted cream and things like that, and that was really, really good. And again, another night where we went back to the house of the family and nobody wanted to have dinner. I don't know what's up with these people, but nobody eats dinner except Chris and I. So we ordered fast food. Again, we had Burger King. Burger King, that was better than North American Burger King. I can't explain it. I had a chicken sandwich and the chicken was like, it was a real chicken breast. It was breaded, but it was like a real chicken breast. The flavor was really good. I think I had a bite of a Whopper that was really good. Yeah, like recommend the Burger King there. On Wednesday, we woke up bright and early and we took the Eurostar at 7 a.m. to Paris. So this was really weird because we felt like we didn't do a lot of like sightseeing or anything in London yet, and then we just jumped over to Paris, and it felt like it was kind of weird that we like went right in the middle. But first day in Paris, we got there, we dropped our bags off at the hotel, and then we went over to the Notre Dame? Oh my god, I'm not very good at these pronunciations, but we went there and just like took some pictures, all that kind of thing. And headed right over to the Sainte-Chapelle, and that was stunning. You go up this little staircase, and then this room is just like illuminated pink and purple, glass, stained glass all around you. It was gorgeous. We did have to pay to see that. It was like 11.50 euros, but worth it. It was really, really beautiful in there, and everybody enjoyed it. Next, we stopped at our first cafe. We just popped into any one that we saw on the street on our way over to the next stop. This is our first time sitting like outside at a little cafe, and we were so blessed with the weather almost like this entire trip. We ate most meals outside when we could, which was really, really nice. It felt so good. Like, it was a whole other world over there. Like, just their lifestyle is completely different. The buildings, the architecture, like, just everything is so different. And I just felt like I got like skyrocketed into summer, which it has not felt like it here. It's literally an overcast day, which is why I've had to film with some lighting. But yeah, so that was super nice. I didn't like super enjoy my sandwich, but like I enjoyed the experience of being there. After lunch, we headed over to the Louvre. So we had bought tickets for this as well. So we got to go in the lineup of ticket holders. So we went in pretty quickly. And we were there for like 3 hours, and we got through like two and a half floors. This place is massive. Like, insane. You could spend days there. We obviously didn't have time to do that. Also, I didn't really want to. Like, I love seeing that kind of thing, but like, I'm not the biggest art buff. I like to be like, holy crap, that was painted like 1,000 years ago. This is insane that they have it here and it's in this good condition. Like, that kind of thing is like really cool to me, but gets a little old, like a little quickly. There's just so much to look at. The sculptures, like the statues and things like that, were really, really cool. Saw some of the famous ones. Saw the Venus de Milo. I think we saw the Thinker. There's like a bunch of stuff. That was cool. Like, to see stuff that I've heard of before, that was really interesting to me. And then we just needed refreshments so badly. We stopped in, there's a Starbucks inside the Louvre. So we stopped and took like a 30-minute break and just sat there and had Starbucks. I got a cool lime refresher. I was so excited about. I haven't had a cool lime refresher in like 6 years. I used to love them so much. They just completely like wiped off the face of the earth, but apparently not, because they were just chilling in Europe the whole time. So I think I had 2 cool lime refreshers while I was there. I just really like them. They're so good. I really wish we would bring them back. It's such a bummer. After the Louvre, we walked over to Le Relais de l'Entrecôte. This is so embarrassing. I really liked it. So this restaurant, there's a couple of locations. They only serve steak frites. There's nothing on the menu. There is no menu. You go there and you sit down, and like right when you sit down, you order drinks. Then they bring you over some salad. That salad was good, but it was spicy. Mustard is like very popular, but like Dijon, like spicy Dijon mustard is very popular in Europe, I've noticed. And that was a spicy salad. There was like horseradish in there, I think, too. And we were all like clearing out our sinuses with it. It was crazy. And then what they do is they bring you over a plate and they ask you like how you like your steak cooked. That steak on your plate that's like sliced already with fries, frites. And then this awesome sauce. It was nice and peppery and creamy. That was really good. And they give you 2 servings of it, so they'll come back around with more fries and more steak. I just went for more steak and not more fries because they give you so many. This place was awesome. We all really liked it. At this point, we were so exhausted, we headed back to the hotel for the night. Okay, on Thursday, we woke up at Le Grand Hotel L'Evêque. This was the cutest hotel. You don't expect it when you walk in. It's just like gorgeous, and such a, like, it's a tiny little thing. And we were on the cutest little market street. It was just adorable. I loved it. Right next to our hotel, there was a little cafe that we stopped in at for breakfast, had a croissant and a little hot chocolate before we headed over to the Eiffel Tower, which I just still can't believe that I was at the Eiffel Tower. I just can't believe it. Not only was I at the Eiffel Tower, I was in the Eiffel Tower. So we went up the Eiffel Tower, went to the level 2. We didn't go up to level 3. I was too much of a chicken, but also we had like kind of like a tightly packed day. We had a little time for wandering, but we also like had a lot of things to accomplish. So we spent our time there and then we went back down. But I thought it was really crazy when you walk into the Eiffel Tower. It is like very commercialized. So there's hardwood floors. There was like a restaurant, I think. There was a bunch of shops, souvenirs. I just was really surprised. I thought I was just gonna be walking on like metal the entire time. But the views were amazing. It was so cool to see. After the Eiffel Tower, we headed down to the Seine, the River Seine, and we went on a 1-hour boat tour. That was really, really cool. You sat on like the top deck of the boat, and you can bring your own headphones and like connect to, I think, like the Bluetooth or like an app on your phone and pick your language, and you can just like look around you, and they're describing all of the buildings and the history, and that stuff is so cool to me. I love to just like sit there and take everything in and just learn about everything that I wouldn't have figured out on my own. After that, we headed over to lunch. We went to a place called, I think it was Le Fermin. And it actually ended up being an Italian place. We didn't know, it just looked really cute outside, so we went over there. I got a roasted vegetable pizza that was like fairly good. At this point we were like, oh my god, we're burning through things to do very quickly. We had 3 days together and I had planned only as much as I could. I knew that some people wanted to like take it easy and maybe wander around, but like it's kind of hard when you're on vacation because you just want to see everything. You have like a limited amount of time. Anyway, so we were supposed to do Montmartre in the Basilica Sacré-Cœur the next day, but we ran out of stuff to do, so we decided to do that, which was so awesome. You go up there and all I could think about was Monte Carlo, the movie with Selena Gomez and Leighton Meester, when they were on those steps and like looking over and you see like the whole like view of Paris, except it was like the other side of Paris, so you didn't see the Eiffel Tower or anything. And the Basilica was obviously stunning, and there was a cute little like village behind it that we wandered through. Then we headed back over to like central Paris. We went to the Champs-Elysees, or went to oh my god. Went to Champs-Elysees? This is so embarrassing. Me when I'm there thinking that I'm like speaking such good French, saying like bonjour, bonsoir, whatever. I picked up La Durée and Pierre Hermé, and I compared them at night, and La Durée is so much better in my opinion, and Chris also agrees. I just liked their flavors better, and they're just like so much more like melty in your mouth. I love them. I just think they're so delicate and cute. After that, we headed over to a restaurant called Le Recoutrement Cafe. I had a chicken chorizo risotto that was quite good. It was a chicken breast that still had the skin on it. There were like pieces of chorizo in it. That was pretty good. It was one of the better meals that we had on the whole trip. And then from here we walked back over to the Eiffel Tower and we waited for 9 o'clock for the Eiffel Tower to sparkle. It sparkles for like 5 minutes every hour on the hour. So we sat down at a bench. Chris is like just drinking out of a bottle of wine because you're allowed to do that there. And we're sitting there waiting for 9 o'clock and a rat just comes out and starts like sprinting at us, and we were just like, hello Remy, thank you for stopping by to say hello. Like then 9 o'clock hit and the sparkle, it actually really is magical. It's really cool to see. The camera does not do it justice. It was just so cool to be there, and like I don't know, you just like, there's so many tourists there just watching it, and everyone just goes like it's just like really cute. Then we just headed back to the hotel for the rest of the night. Guys, these trips are exhausting. When you haven't done anything for over 2 years, like I don't know if my walking to prepare for this did anything or not. And now I'm wondering like, what if I didn't walk? What if I didn't go on the treadmill those days for a walk? Because I think I would have been screwed, because I was pretty screwed already on this trip. All right, Friday we went for a walk and we had a butter croissant and an almond croissant at this like popular croissant place that Chris found. I don't remember the name of it. And then we got on the big bus tour. Highly recommend going on the big bus tours if they have it in the city that you're going to. I just feel like you sit on the top, you see things in a different perspective, and you just get to learn so much. Like when we were going through Paris, there were so many areas that we saw that weren't on our itinerary to see, and we just learned so much. And we actually ended up going back to one of the places that we drove past, and we hadn't originally planned to do that because we didn't even know it existed. So it was, I just like highly recommend it. You learn so much, and I just like, it's so nice to just sit there and just like take everything all in. After this, we stopped back at a cafe for lunch. I had a French onion soup, also known as onion soup, and I really did like it, but that has nothing to do with like the cafe. I had this idea in my head that I would like French onion soup, but I don't. So now I know. Also, I had like a crispy chicken Caesar salad that was pretty good. Everything there is different. So a Caesar salad is not like a real Caesar salad that you would have like here at home. Real, what does that mean? But it was like baby gem lettuce, which I really enjoy, and a different kind of dressing, and then some other veggies and things in there, which was like, it was good. After lunch, we went back to our hotel to collect our bags, and Chris and I moved our stuff over to another hotel for one night. I ended up paying for this one night in the hotel for Chris's birthday present, which was like coming up, so I did that for us so we could have like a night to ourselves. Chris's parents left and went back to London that night, and we were on our own. We were both just like so exhausted, and one of our favorite things to do is just like get food and like lay in the hotel bed and just like watch TV and just be like, oh my god, we're in a different city eating something different. Like, it was really cool. So we went out and we got McDonald's. I have a fascination with trying all of these foods and like fast foods, things that we eat not regularly at home, but like, you know, like regularly at home. And I really wanted to compare to see like what's it like here versus there and all that kind of stuff. So we went to Paris, McDonald's. A weird experience because they have so many things that we don't have and they don't have so many things that we have. So like on one side of things I wanted to try things that we don't have, but I also wanted to try the things that I get to see if they taste different. And sure enough, it tasted very different. It was super weird. I had the Big Mac, didn't taste like a Big Mac. The sauce is super different, much more mild, less like tart and tangy, and the pickles taste different. They're more dill flavored. And I think like the McDonald's pickle, like the North American McDonald's pickle is like iconic and has to be like part of the Big Mac with that sauce. Like for me, it's like the perfect combination, so like don't mess with it. But I understand that they put a lot less like crap in their food in Europe. So I understand why it tasted different, but you know what? Like I would rather die with my taste buds happy. But it was weird. The fries, they don't add any salt. They're not that like buttery, like yummy McDonald's fry that you're picturing. They don't have, their sweet and sour sauce is different. The chicken nuggets were disgusting. Not even close to the chicken nuggets at home. I don't know how to describe it, but they were like thicker, and you really had to bite through them. It was just not like a pleasant experience for me. The chicken sandwich I did not enjoy. It wasn't a great time, but you know what? Like I wasn't expecting it to be amazing. Like it's McDonald's. The next morning was Saturday, and this was Chris and I's last day in Paris. We went over back to actually that restaurant that we went to for dinner the other night and had the risotto. It was actually right on the corner by our hotel, and we had no idea that we were literally right there. And we sat outside and I had a nice view of the Eiffel Tower, which is really cute, before we headed out. And I got this breakfast and I was feeling so ill that morning, so I literally ate a piece of baguette with butter, which this is the first place that gave us butter with the like bread. I guess they don't do that there, and I did not dare to ask for butter because I heard that as a no. So don't ask for butter, I guess, when you go to Paris. But this place gave me butter, so that was nice. And I had a little bit of jam, and I was not able to eat anything else. Like I was not feeling well. I managed to get some like nausea medication, and that held me through for the rest of the day, which is great, thank God. We actually ended up going over to Versailles, which we didn't know if we were gonna be able to do because we had so many other things planned, but we breezed through things. So I went over to Versailles. Stunning, it's massive. And Chris and I breezed through it in like 45 minutes. They said it's gonna be like an hour to an hour and a half, but we were just like, no. And we went through so quickly, but like we saw everything we wanted to see. We're not really the people to like sit and stand there and read every single detail about something. We kind of just like look, take it all in, maybe grab a detail, that kind of thing, depending on where we are. This was all like rooms, so it was like all rooms of like royal people and the family, from like however many like hundreds or like thousands of years ago when this was built, and that was really cool. So like we saw like Marie Antoinette's room, saw like the king's room. From here we headed back over to our hotel area. I picked up a bottle of champagne for my mom because I gotta give her the real champagne from Paris. And I picked up a little Eiffel Tower for my little brother as a souvenir. And then we headed back over to the train station, grabbed like a baguette sandwich, and I just like tried my best to eat something because I've been struggling so much to eat that day. And we got on the train to go back home, and we picked up, it was like a fresh, I think like ramen or udon place. It looked really good, and like I was hungry and I wanted to eat, and I sat down with the food back at the house and I just could not. I think I managed to stomach like 3 bites, and I had to just give it over to Chris and go immediately to bed because I was just not doing well with my stomach. But that is like a rough way, I guess, to end this part, but that's the end of the first week. The next day is Sunday and we're back in London. So I'm gonna continue part 2 next week for you. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that you don't miss it. You don't wanna hear only half of the story because we haven't even gotten to London yet. But I hope you enjoyed. That was a very long-winded explanation of everything that we did. We had the best time. Paris was amazing. I'm still processing the fact that I went to Paris. But yeah, so that's kind of where we ended the trip off for the first week. I'm just gonna go ahead and say goodbye, and I'm gonna pick right back up with week 2.